Preview. You're listening to The Sizzle on Iron Skillet Radio and Iron Skillet Television.
You know what it is. You know who it is. It's the Sizzle in the building, baby. Hotter than ever. We're on fuego. We are on fire again. Listen, bringing you the hottest content, the hottest sports talk in the region, in the country, in the world. I said it, in the world. And you know who's in the building. Rick is in the building. Jay Sizzle's in the building. I'm G.
Sir.
In the building. And look, before we get started, before we go any further, remember to like, subscribe, and share. Make sure to hit the notification button so that you're getting content the minute that this pops up, you get the ding. And once you get the ding, you can do the button. That's all you have to do is push the button. All you have to do is hear from the
ding. Say once you get the ding, you get the thing to do the thing with?
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. They know once you hear the ding, you can do the thing. And remember, if you have any comments, please feel free to leave them below. We look forward to hearing all of your commentary, especially after we talk about some bums today. I mean, some players today. It's
wow.
There's a little bit of hostility in your voice right now, G. Sizzle. So let's come on with it. What you want to talk about?
All right. So we've got two games on the slate. You've got two things starting up. We're talking the NBA. You know what we always talk about NBA. But we got two games. We've got a starter game with the Phoenix Suns and the Denver Nuggets. And we've got game 2 of Nets. So, gentlemen, I'll throw it out on the table. Bucks, Nets. The Bucks should be up 1-0 on the Nets. How do you see the series playing out?
Why should
explain that? Explain that one.
Oh, okay. So
why should
no
they
James Harden
be up 1-0?
You have no James Harden. You have terrible turnovers by the Bucks, a complete collapse, and Giannis did not do the Giannis thing. If you have a Greek freak and he's a freak, shouldn't you already be on top of the game because he's a freak?
Man, like Blake Griffin stepped up. And I don't know where he found the fountain of youth, but when you saw multi-millionaire going to be Hall of Famer on bad wheels on the floor multiple times, going after the basketball, I have never seen Blake Griffin go to the floor after basketballs like that. That energized that entire Brooklyn Nets team. I think when he went down there and went for that scrum against two of the Bucks, and he won the ball from him, and they were falling on his head and kneeing him and everything else. I think right then they figured out you are not going to out-tough us. The Brooklyn Nets, we from Brooklyn. What they say, son over there? Yeah, son. We from Brooklyn. You ain't punking us, son. You know what I'm saying? And they went on some. We scared of some deer, right? Deer what do deer do in headlights? They freeze. And I think once they got hit in the mouth a little bit and they figured out they weren't going to punk them, it took them off their game. Blake Griffin played out of his mind, man. And then you had Kyrie and KD pull out the tricks, the old school tricks. And I was like, you can't stay with me. Watch me. After that first quarter, I had figured at that point the Nets were in for a long night and it was over. So they played outstanding. I thought the Bucks were going to get them without Harden, but the Nets played outstanding. If they come again like this, they're going to be unbeatable.
Here's an oldie but goodie for you since you talked about Blake Griffin and rolling on the ground. It looked like Ben Portis might have gave him a quick jab on the ground. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
And you remember the last time that Portis punched somebody, and yet Blake Griffin took it, was like, that's all you got? So I agree with you. That energized the crowd. The crowd went nuts. I mean, it was like you just thought he had just shot about 4, 5, 6 threes right there. I mean, they enjoyed it. That is playoff basketball. Take it for what it's worth. And he got out there and got it done in the absence of, they really didn't miss much.
Well, with that said, maybe the Nets are just holding serve. They are at home. You've got 2 games at home to win. You should win your 2 games and walk out of this feeling good when they return to Milwaukee and maybe put the slap down. Maybe by then James Harden has gotten some Bengay and rubbed it on his body. And
I think we've seen the last of James Harden. I think that's over with. I think James Harden and that hamstring. He again is another guy who his herky jerky game has finally jerked him, and you know what I'm getting. You can only do those moves that long, a la Derrick Rose and the rest of those guys who get those leg injuries. And I think we might. I don't think Harden's coming back with any way, shape, or form of being James Harden that we know with this leg injury the way it is.
That is fake news. I have it on good authority that James Harden called Shaquille O'Neal and got some icy hot patches. He's going to be fine for Games 3. You just
we know James Harden before he left Houston must have called Shaquille O'Neal and was eating plenty of Papa John's because he put on about 30 pounds.
No, that's either right, but maybe you know what? To your point, Jay, maybe we won't see a better James Harden to next year, and he goes through a weight loss protocol because right now I think he needs the WW and he needs a new beautician. He needs something. He needs a lot of stuff going on. You're in Brooklyn, son. Find somebody to do something to the cornrows.
You know what was really weird about this game, though, man? You saw Giannis and Brook Lopez really dominate on the inside. Brook Lopez looked like, okay, you're not going to be able to stop me. I don't know who y'all think y'all running out here. You're just not going to be able to. And somehow or another, man, the greatness, and I'm going to say greatness, the greatness of KD really shone, and you couldn't lock up Kyrie because Kyrie refused to be locked up. That's one of the few times I've really seen Kyrie really impose his will on people. He always had the handle. But this time he was attacking for a reason. I think that James Harden thing with them going down with at 43 seconds and all of a sudden, and here's the other thing about it too. I know you guys will talk about this. Giannis and Harden, there is no love lost there. They really don't like each other. And Giannis has talked some mad trash. So I think the mere fact of Harden going down, they was holding down their boy. So, I mean, I wonder, hey, Rich, what do you think? Can they come back with the same energy tonight as they came with the other game? Because they're going to have to come with this energy again.
Yeah, I think they can, but I'm going to tell you who's going to have to step up is Kevin Durant. I was not impressed with how he played in game 1. I mean, he was missing shots I've never seen him miss before. He has got to find his rhythm, and whatever he's got going on, maybe there's an intimidation factor. Maybe he's got, the freak in his mind or whatever else like that. He's got to get past that. I mean, let's face it. Durant normally plays opposing players that are smaller than him or at least shorter than him. He is going up against somebody his size, bigger than him physically. And I don't know if that's gotten in his head or whatever else like that, but he's got to make those shots. He was missing 15-foot one-hand shooters that anybody can hit, really. I was very impressed that the rest of the Nets stepped up when he wasn't there. Harden got hurt. It was impressive. But if you're going to pull out a game 2, he has to be the Durant that we have known with that killer instinct. He has to do that.
You're right. And as Jay gets ready to talk about the Phoenix Suns, he had to do an equipment change. And it might be a change of coaching staff for Mike Budenholzer if he doesn't get this thing right. I think this is Budenholzer's last road down this old good old trail. Jack, you lose to Brooklyn, and you could have won game 1 when James Harden went out to get a Polish and some fries. Your job security isn't that great. But I tell you whose job security is great right now. Monty Williams, Phoenix Suns. Boy, it is looking great for Phoenix right now. It is looking great. I don't care what anybody says. Now, I do say that, the Joker is great, but, boy, I'm not putting any chips against Phoenix right now. I don't know. What say you, fellas? I say Phoenix all the way to the sun.
At least to the moon. I mean, who's going to stop Devin Booker, though?
Absolutely. You took why you up in my Kool-Aid, man. That was my secret sauce, and now you just stole it. Go ahead,
No,
Rich.
no, man. Go ahead. Go ahead. You just kind of I'll ask you. So who's gonna stop Devin Booker?
It ain't nobody. Look, Devin Booker, man, superstar in waiting. Can we say that? Because
wait a minute, what you mean waiting? He's arrived.
Well,
He arrived. He closed out the defending champions by dropping 47 on them. And the night before, dropped 30 with no problem. He has arrived. There is no incoming, wait your turn. He's here. Here.
But you just don't think superstar when you think of Devin Booker right off the top of your head. I mean, he really doesn't even enter into the conversation when you talk about best players in the league. But like you said, his numbers say that he is. And he's, again, another one of the light-skinned assassins out here who is going to give you the business, talk to you while they're giving you the business. I don't know what it is, man. It must be something with the Mocha brothers because they come and ball people out.
The cliche, the caveat, I don't know what term you want to use it. That man sat there and told the world that Kobe Bryant was there for him. Yeah. It was like, how fortitude is that to play against Kobe Bryant's ex-team and say that Kobe Bryant was there for him to beat Kobe Bryant's ex-team? That is fortitude. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is caramel magic. Yeah. We've said it. Hashtag caramel chocolate magic. That's what's in the building. He has taken on that. You know what, Rich? I'm glad you said that. Because I had said he channeled his inner Zach LaVine. But did he even go greater?
No.
Channeled in the greatness of Kobe. Has he now embodied the new Kobe? Is he not just the Mamba? Is he the Samba?
On Devin Booker's arm is tattooed "Be Legendary," right? We have to look at the Chicago Bulls star, because he's not a superstar yet. Is he ever going to be legendary? I don't think so. I think Devin Booker is beyond him. I think right now in Chicago, you got stars. Are they going to be superstars? No.
So what makes you legendary then? I mean, we're talking about Devin Booker, who even before this year, before Chris Paul, he was putting up 50-pointers with no problem. And Zach LaVine, kind of the same thing. In any given game or whatever, he can impose his will. They're averaging phenomenal above 25-point numbers consistently. I mean, not everybody, I've told somebody else this, you're only going to have one champion a year. Not everybody's going to be a champion. So what makes you a superstar?
And therein lies the rub. You have a Zach LaVine stuck in mid-level hell who's never going to play in those opportunities to where people go, do you remember when Zach LaVine did this? You don't. Give me one of them right now. See what I'm saying? You just can't pull one out. But all the legendary ball players, you can go back and pinpoint. And now you see a Devin Booker being able to drop 47 points on Kobe's former team. You're seeing the guy right now putting people to rest, putting people to sleep, because they're like, oh, you thought Chris Paul was the only one, the one shoulder wonder, old man thunder? I got something for you now. You're going to have to try to stop me. And I said, try to stop me. Stop. You can't. I'm going to talk to you. You can't. I'm prettier than you. I can. He might be the Muhammad Ali of basketball right now. That's what he might be. You know what I'm saying? This guy is me, and that's what makes him legendary, because when he had to step up and make it happen, that's what he did. Will Zach LaVine ever have that opportunity? Not as long as he's playing for Chicago.
He just needs a point guard somewhat nice like Chris Paul. I mean, I'm just saying. I know we're not talking about the Bulls, but I'll just go it out there. The Bulls are a point guard away from doing some major damage in the league. Yeah, I said it.
You know what?
Are they gonna get that point guard? No. I digress. That was Devin Booker's team before Chris Paul got there. That was Devin Booker's team before DeAndre Ayton got there. That's been Devin Booker's team since he got there. Everybody who watched them knows that, knew that. You just needed the opportunity.
But Chris Paul is the glue. He is the starter. You can have a Ferrari out there, but if you don't have a battery to crank it up and get going, all you doing is looking good. You ain't going nowhere unless you rolling downhill. You saw a Phoenix Sun team without Chris Paul, look good. They had all the pieces, but wasn't nothing happening. All of a sudden, you see the fire starter show up, show you, hey, it's just like what Chris Paul had to do. He had to come off the bench when there was some rallying going on. As soon as he got into the ball game, all the nonsense stopped. And that's what you need around him. Devin Booker needed this guy. He needed a real point guard. Will the Chicago Bulls get a real point guard? They're definitely not going to get a Chris Paul type point guard. That's not going to happen. You might get Lonzo Ball in here, who's a true point guard. But beyond that, is Alonzo Ball and Zach LaVine, is that enough to pull the Bulls up into a position where they can play and compete in the East? I don't think they're going to be able to compete in the East. Do you see him beating the Bucks? Do you see him do you see him battling the Nets for 80 in a 7-game series? No, I don't think so. Look at all the ex-Bulls balling out. Bobby Portis. You had Gafford balling out. You got who's that? Payne balling out. All these guys that couldn't play for the Bulls all of a sudden now, but they can play on other teams that are in the playoffs, and the Bulls are sitting at home. Amazing.
Said Bobby Portis is balling. I don't know about all that.
Well,
Bobby Portis was playing really well. Bullying ball, playing bully ball, because that's what he needs to be doing. He's going to punch somebody in the head before it's over with. But you need that toughness. But he's there, though. He's playing. He's in the playoffs. Ain't none of the Chicago Bulls in the playoffs, except unless you played there before.
Well, that's a good stopping point for our next show, because we're going to talk about in the next show where these teams go. There are about 5 teams, and then there are super teams. Do you pay for large money players? Do you keep the players you have, or do you try and move around, make some moves? There's a former Bull who might be on the move that the Bulls might like, and he's sitting right in Jersey. But it's not Jersey anymore. It's in Brooklyn. You know what? We'll talk about that on the next one. Boy, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all not ready for extra sizzle. That's all I'm going to tell you. You're not ready for extra sizzle. This is the best talk, best sports talk, anywhere you can find it. And if you can find it better, I dare you to show me, and then I will blow it up with my boom machine, because I have a boom machine.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have a what machine?
It's a boom machine. Not the boom machine. It's a boom machine. It just makes things go.
Like a boomstick?
Okay.
Boomstick. That's what
Okay.
Hashtag boomstick. You know what it is. You know who it is. He's Jay Sizzle. He's Rich Sizzle. I'm Jay Sizzle. We are the Sizzle, baby. We keep it hot like fire. We give you all the smoke, all the talk, everything you want in one good package. And you know what we do, baby? We put it with a boomstick. That's what you like. That's what you gonna get. You know who it is. You know what it is. It's the Sizzle. We're back as ever, baby. Ooh, it's so boom. It's like, boom. I love it. I love it. I'm just gonna do that again. Ooh. You know who it is, and we'll see you on the other side.
Did you know that you can listen to Iron Skillet Radio on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor? It's easy. Look for Iron Skillet Sports or hashtag Skillet_sports for our latest episodes. We are Iron Skillet Sports.